So you don't have to struggle with your dog in an urban setting. There are many challenges that come with having your dog in an urban setting, and we want to make sure that you can navigate your dog in an urban setting. My name is Pamela Brown with Down for Paws Dog Training. We provide simple solutions for your busy family to transform your dog's behavior with ease. Let's jump right into it. Mastering your dog in an urban setting comes with its own set of challenges. I have been working with families who ideally they live in the suburbs or whatever it may be, but they work in a city or they're in an area where they bring their dog to work, maybe moving, etc. But it comes with its own set of challenges. We want to help you master your dog in an urban setting. So let's just jump right into what that means for your dog and how do you master that your dog in an urban setting. So first and foremost, I'm just speaking from experience with the families I work with. Most of the families that are in the urban setting, there's either two scenarios that's going on. Either, like I said, they're in like a suburban, rural area, and then they're bringing their dog into work in the city, or they already live in the city area and they're adopting a dog or purchasing the dog from a rescue, and the dog's coming into the city area. How to master your dog in an urban area. The first thing you want to do is pretty much urban areas are pretty busy. So you want to start almost immediately kind of socializing your dog just so they can get used to the environment. I'm not saying to go out there in those busy urban streets and just saturate them. Starting off, I always say dogs who are, especially if your dog's anxious or things like that, you want to start in an area, maybe like a nearby park away from the hustle and bustle of things, and just start letting them explore and getting comfortable that way. If you have your dog in an urban setting and it's just too busy, you just don't want to splash them in there and just start walking and stuff, because then they can get reactive, overstimulated. They're not going to listen and things like that. So in order to master having your dog so they love it and you love it in an urban setting, socialize outside the neighborhood in other busy areas that aren't as distracting. That's the first thing. Second thing you want to work on, you're probably thinking, that doesn't make any sense once I say this, is you want to work on loose leash walking. You're probably thinking, like, what does that have to do with the urban setting? But a lot of times, dogs in general, they are curious, they're impulsive. A lot of times in an urban setting, you have, trash, you have people, you have cars, you have so many different things. Depending on what your dog loves, they tend to pull a lot more. So although your dog, maybe if you like, my dog's fine on loose leash, if you're talking about an urban setting, they may start to pull a little bit. So that's something you definitely want to work on when it comes to mastering your dog in an urban setting, is the loose leash walking, and really trying to refine that. Put it this way, if your dog's already pulling and they're not in an urban setting, they're probably going to pull. If your dog's already pulling when they're not in an urban setting, they're probably going to pull even more if they are exposed to more like distractions and impulsive and things like that. So make sure that you tackle the loose leash walking. Another skill that you're probably not thinking about when it comes to mastering your dog, having your dog in an urban busy setting, is recall. I don't know how many times this is like let me backtrack on that. So I don't know how many times like I've been driving and I just see a dog dart across the street in the city, or how many lost dogs there are in the city. One thing about having a dog in an urban setting, especially if they're not used to it, they can get pretty spooked, especially with puppies. So you want to make sure, I always say, and make sure that you're training a solid recall, or making sure that your dog can come back to you, so that if they do get loose, that is not an issue. And that's another way you can master your dog being in an urban setting. Just really focus on all those basic obedience skills in the midst of distractions, not just the recall. Also, you want to set your dog up for success. This is more about you than the dog. One thing I do acknowledge is that living in an urban setting, your dog may not get out as much because you may not have a backyard. You may not be able to get them exercise and things like that. One thing that you want to understand, that if dogs' needs are not met as far as exercising and getting out like that, bringing them outside into that urban setting, there's an array of things that can happen when they're not physically or mentally exercise, they, like I said, they could be excited because they're outside. They can pull more on a leash. They can end up barking at people, not because they want to hurt them, because they're excited. They haven't seen them as much. So just make sure, in order to master your dog being okay in an urban setting, that you're getting them the adequate amount of exercise they need. If you don't know what kind of exercise your dog needs, you're like, I really just walk them 20 minutes. You can always look at your breed that you have and Google it. They'll tell you like the requirements. That's just a little bonus tip there. But all those things you want to start to do to master your dog being in an urban environment. You just really want to take, like I said, if you don't remember anything from this live, is you just want to remember, take it slow, and you don't have to just walk out your house and start in that busy area. Move your dog away from the busyness of the hustle and bustle of the city, even if that's just a few streets away, and start them there. It's more about the socialization and getting them used to it, and just making sure that they feel comfortable and that they're happy with the hustle and bustle of things. So hope you gained some insightful tips to mastering walking your dog, not walking your dog, having your dog in an urban setting. There's so many different things that challenges that can arise, but hopefully these have given you insight into the top ones that you may struggle with in an urban setting. Other than that, I will see you next week with another great topic. If you want to listen to those other lives and games, other insight on other behavioral challenges and issues, be sure to listen at Positive Dog Training Convos on all those podcast platforms. But other than that, I will see you next week with another great topic. Bye.